Hey everyone. Once again, I'm Seth Young. I am the superintendent for Anderson School District 1, and today we're starting a new tradition here in Anderson 1. We're going to kind of do a recap of last night's board meeting with a new podcast that we're going to start here in Anderson 1 called the Excellence in Action. So Anderson 1, we have a tradition of excellence. Last night, our board had a meeting and approved several things, including our budget that we're going to get into. But we thought about this as a way to revisit last night's board meeting without having to watch the hour-plus video that we post online. And we can just give you a quick few-minute rundown of what we talked about and what our board did to continue to keep our tradition of excellence alive in Anderson 1.
And I'm Jen Maz. I'm the communications coordinator for the school district. And I think what's so neat about this opportunity to have a podcast is it not only gives us an opportunity to highlight what happened in the board meeting, but also highlight a lot of the achievements and recognitions and just very quickly showcase all of that.
Yes. So excited as we wrap up the 25-26 school year. Last night's board meeting is kind of kicking off this summer and looking ahead to next school year.
Let's get started. So, of course, we've had a really busy last few weeks wrapping up the end of the school year. A lot of great things happening in the district. We had graduation, which was it's always awesome to see all those students across the stage.
Graduation is always fun. Over 850 students graduated from Powdersville, Palmetto, and Wren. Fun day, great day, watching the families and their students celebrate those 12 years of school culminating on graduation day.
And of course, as we end the school year, we can't forget about all the great things that our students did, our staff did, especially at the end of the school year. We get a lot of opportunities throughout the school year to recognize our students and staff, but we also had a lot of great things happen just as we wrapped up the end of this week.
Yeah, May is always a busy year, and when you reflect on the whole school year, we had schools win Model PLC at Work recognition at Wren High School. Powdersville Elementary re-upped that. We had West Pelzer win their Blue Ribbon Award. And then right here at the end of the year, we didn't want that to be left out. Palmetto Middle School had their Schools to Watch designation re-upped. That's the 6th time they've been recognized as a school to watch because of all the great things going on at Palmetto Middle School. And then we had 2 teachers last night we celebrated that got statewide mentoring awards. Miss Judy Griggs from Spearman and Dr. Jennifer Anderson at Palmetto Middle School were recognized just for being great mentors and helping support younger teachers and new teachers to the profession. Just cool to see them get recognized.
And that says a lot about our induction program and the work they do throughout the year to really mentor our induction teachers and our colleagues throughout the building throughout the year, not just right at the beginning of the year as they get started, but they do a lot throughout the year to really help our induction teachers.
Yes, it's the best program around. The way that Carol Brooks manages all of the mentors, not just Dr. Anderson and Miss Griggs, but all of our mentor teachers, they do a great job supporting our first-year teachers.
As you mentioned, we got to recognize them last night, which is a great transition into the board meeting last night. There were a few things that the board discussed, and you want to talk about that?
So the first thing that we want to talk about is our leave policy, and this will benefit our employees quite a bit. One of the ways that we recruit great employees to Anderson 1 is our leave policy. It provides a lot of flexibility to employees. It's one of the ways that we compete with the folks around us. So we updated that. We tried to make it a little more easier to understand, where you have your annual days that you get every year and then one pot of days that as you accrue days and stay in the district, that's easier to understand and folks have more access to use their bank of days as they accrue experience and accrue days. And then the other thing we did was the budget. Nobody likes to talk about the budget, but I'm excited to talk about the budget. Our board approved it's almost $125 million budget for next school year. And some of the things that our board prioritized this year was, as you know, the Governor McMaster and the state really has emphasized increasing teacher pay. Well, that's been the case here in Anderson 1 as well. And so all of our teachers are going to get a $2,000 raise. Excited about that. But all of our other employees are also going to get a 2% raise. We would always love to do more, but it is budget season, and I could get into all the nuts and bolts about how cash strapped we are in Anderson One, but we were able to provide those increases in salary without doing any tax increase. So there's going to be no millage increase for Anderson One. So that is a really positive thing that our board was able to prioritize. We're taking care of our employees with the new leave policy and with their salary. So it's very exciting, and it's a really positive thing for our district.
Yeah, it's always great to see how you guys kind of work through that budget to kind of get to the conclusion of last night. And so we're very thankful for our finance department and y'all for working hard on that.
Yeah, Miss Cindy Durham is her first year as the finance director, trying to manage all those pieces, and she and her team have done a great job. And before we move on to the last thing, I have to reemphasize Anderson One is the lowest funded district in the state of South Carolina when you look at it per student. So we get the lowest funding per student of any district in South Carolina. And Mr. Moore wouldn't want me to give a plug to the instruction department, but our test scores are still up in the top 2 or 3 of the state. Our athletic teams still do really, really well. We just won another state championship in Anderson One last week with Powdersville soccer team. So we just have so many great things happening, even though our budget's pretty tight.
Yeah, and we do have a lot of great things happening, and we had a great school year this year, but now we're kind of in that season of looking ahead to next year and preparing for next year. This is summer break for the students, but for the district, it's a busy time of year. We're getting ready for the school year, and they've already set dates for Meet the Teacher for parents to get on their calendar now.
So one of the things I've heard about from teachers, families, and staff during my first 2 years as superintendent is there a way that we can come up with a more streamlined way to do Meet the Teacher open house? So I'm excited to say that with the upcoming school year, we're going to do all 3 of our middle schools on one day, all of our elementary schools on one day, and all of our high schools on another night, so that families aren't pulled in 3 or 4 different directions, and that people can get from one place to the other without trying to figure out where they need to be. So the first group of schools that's going to have open houses is going to be our middle schools, and those will be on Thursday, July 30th. Then we'll have our weekend, and then on Monday, August 3rd is going to be our elementary schools, and then Tuesday, August 4th is our high schools. Obviously, our elementary schools, there's a lot going on in Powdersville, so we wanted to give those folks enough time at Concrete, Powdersville Elementary, and Oak Hill to get everything ready before we welcome families into those buildings. And then high schools have so much going on with dual credit classes, AP classes, coordinating schedules with over 1,000 students in each of our schools, so that's why they're going to be on that Tuesday, August 4th, and then school starts Thursday, August 6th. It's going to be here before we know it.
Yeah, it's going to be here quickly, and the times for those, schools will communicate those later this summer, the times for those open houses.
That's right.
Meet the Teacher. But we can't end this podcast without recognizing a few important folks, some at the district office.
Oh, yeah. So it's always this time of year when we're saying goodbye to folks that have been a big part of the Anderson One family with people retiring. There's a couple of principals I want to give a shout out to. Miss Sherry Pageant has been principal at Concrete Primary School. That's the last time we'll call it Concrete Primary, because now it's going to be Concrete Elementary next year.
That's going to take some getting used to.
Yes,
Yeah.
We're going to have like a jar where we put a quarter in every time somebody calls it the wrong name. But Sherry Pageant, she's moving on to bigger and better things, announced her retirement, and Miss Leslie Porter's got big shoes to fill there. She's done a great job. Miss Carrie Pennington retiring from Hunt Meadows. Miss Jessica Thomas coming in and just going to keep the momentum going at Hunt Meadows. And last but not least, Dr. Jeff Wilson, who's been assistant superintendent here for the past 5 years. Just a career dedicated to students and serving families of just a tremendous heart for students, and he's going to be missed, going to be a big void in Anderson One. So congratulations to Ms. Pennington, Ms. Pageant, and Dr. Wilson on great careers. Thank you for your service to Anderson One, and you're still part of the family, so don't be strangers.
I have to say, one of the coolest parts about my job has been being part of all of their celebrations and their retirement ceremonies, and seeing their students and their teachers and the impact that they have had on each one of their schools. It really is incredible. And of course, we know firsthand the impact Dr. Wilson has had on this district. And so it's been really, really neat the last few weeks just to see the love that the students and the teachers have for those principals and the impact that they've had.
100%. That's a great way to wrap it up. So this is the Excellence in Action podcast. We're going to start doing this the Wednesday after the board meeting every month. So hope you'll tune in and join us, and we appreciate your time today.
And we will have all of this information, including some of the back to school stuff, on our website, anderson1.org, and you will also be able to view our podcast on our website as well. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, y'all.